There you go.
Yes. Okay, fantastic.
Great.
So, I see you're busy working with a new album with Steve Wilson.
That's right.
Yeah. Tell me more about. At least, what can you tell about it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's always tricky, especially with Stephen. You know, I don't want to compromise him. The album is as everything with Stephen, he moves forward and things are very different. So the album is very different to previous albums for sure. I guess recording-wise, we've used so many different kits and different snares on this album that the sound is quite eclectic, and it's a lot more of a vintage sound than I've heard from Stephen before, really. So it's great. It's a real challenge. I'm not busting out loads of chops this time. It's like some serious hardcore grooves, which is great. So yeah, it's great, and he's great to work with in the studio. He's a taskmaster. The days are really long, but yeah, it's been great so far.
Oh, fantastic. Well, any other projects you're working on? I see that John Mitchell is also busy with the new album. Are you working on that as well?
On what, sorry?
John Mitchell is also busy with a new album.
Yeah, I recorded drums for that, but we did that in about 3 hours. So as John is John, everything is last minute, everything is undone. I kind of expect that now with John, so I kind of turned up. Well, he came around here actually, he did it at my place, and I'd heard like 4 of the songs. So just like we did on the last album, we wrote out all the time signatures, all the phrasing, and we started recording, and every time there was like a chorus or play louder or play a different time signature, he'd like kind of hold it up in the air, and that's the way we recorded the album. So that's 2 albums now that every time I've been recording it, I'm learning the tracks at the same time. So a lot of players kind of fall on their ass doing that, but I kind of like it now. I'm kind of used to it, especially with John, because everything is fucking last minute. So that was the only way we could do it, you know. And I had like literally 1 morning free. He came over and we just recorded it, blasted it, and then we had lunch. It was done.
But you're busy with so many things. How do you find the time, indeed?
Do you know, it's quite tough. You know, I mean, firstly, I'm really flattered that I'm really busy, which is amazing. You know, there's so many drummers I know, especially in this genre, that don't really work so much. You know, and I guess it's my little time in the sun right now that everybody wants to work with me, which I'm really flattered about. You know, it's amazing. I just kind of prioritize. I don't say yes to everything because I can't. But what I do, I look at the diary. I try, as I'm getting older now, I try and take my weekends free. I've gone from like always working weekends, gigging when I was a bit younger, to now I kind of really value the downtime. So I try and take my weekends off. Obviously it's not possible if you're touring or clinic tours and stuff, but I look at the diary and I look at the logistics and I look how knackered I'm going to be with jet lag and I decide if I'm going to take it on or yes or no. But you know, in this day and age, in any freelance profession, it's amazing to be working, you know. So I like to see the diary full in advance, which is quite nice, you know, no matter how diverse the project is. But yeah, I look after myself a little bit better than I used to as well, you know. I try and I try and stay in shape a little bit more and try and stay a little bit fitter because I'm not getting any younger, you know. So
yes.
Time's important to me.
But yeah, what are you working on right now? What you're allowed to tell about, let me say that.
Now, sure. I mean, right now it's I'm back to my time is road now with Stephen until the next tour. So right now I'm concentrating on just my own stuff, you know. I've wanted to get my own album out for such a long time with some of my heroes and my friends. I'm kind of sketching that together, which it's fairly brutal, it's fairly heavy. I am going to get that out. It's not a drummer's album. I'm going really progressive with it. But like kind of modern progressive metal, not just a drum solo for an hour. So I'm working on that quite a bit. I'm working on my book, which I'm hoping to get out early next year. And then I've got so many clinics coming up around the world, so it's just kind of programming for that. Mapex have got some new products coming out at NAMM show January, so I've just been mixing all the videos. We did like 4 videos on Monday. So I'm mixing those over the next day or so. So mainly drum and cymbal stuff, lots of clinics, but a little bit of time. I've been offered a few tours, but do you know what? I'm tired. I kind of decided that probably most of next year is going to be off the road. I know Frost are going out quite a bit, and we're doing the cruise. that cruise to the edge thing. But I'm kind of, I don't want to be on the road so much next year because it's been like 18 months and my body is like, okay, a little bit of a break now, which is really important for me. I've set up my studio here. I have a fairly decent recording studio here, so I've got a few albums to record from friends, a couple of which are pretty cool, which I'm thrilled about. A couple of which are just bog standard gunplay on some tracks and just vomit out, you know. So, but it's nice to be busy. It's nice to be busy for sure.
Oh yes, you're indeed very, very busy. But you had, I read some stories about you. You also had a time that you were barely making it as a drummer.
Yeah, I mean, I turned professional in 2008 after, oh my God, like 3 or 4 times of trying, you know. It's so difficult in any genre, you know, to make it as a professional drummer. I didn't want to play pop music. I'm not a real pop player. I've done that in the past, and it's not something that made me happy. I was quite miserable, you know, turning up and miming to songs on TV and then getting fired because they wanted a different look. You know, that's not what I was about. You know, I've always listened to kind of progressive and metal over the years. Ironically, out of everybody in the band, I've got the shortest hair, and everyone's like, "Grow your hair, you play prog." I'm like, "No, I don't like my hair. I like being that boring prep boy." You know, I've always listened. Like, if I wear a Slayer t-shirt in a video, everyone goes fucking nuts. Like, "Oh, you're a Slayer fan? You don't look like a Slayer fan." It's like, I know, I like that. You know? I turned pro in 2008, and I think what happened this time, I just saved up that little bit more money, and you know, I had a plan B. You know, I was doing a little bit more teaching. I was a bit more confident myself as a player, and I stuck at it. You know, I stuck at it and kept working hard, and I'm still here. But you know, over the past kind of 3 years as the profile's grown, you know, it's been pretty incredible. But back in the day, you know, whatever it took to pay the bills, that's what we did, you know. And I delivered fruit and vegetables. I worked at a golf club. I've done so many shitty jobs to pay the bills because I wanted to drum, you know. And, you know, if I have to go back to doing that, so be it. You know, I'm not one of those pretentious rock star dicks that you know, this is me in an arena, this is what I do. I'm just a normal guy, and whatever it takes to pay the bills, then that's what I have to do.
I totally get it.
I'm fairly open, honestly.
No, thank you very much. Well, I'm